What's up, everybody? We're back. Hefe here, Alpha there, BBB in the house as well. This is Off the Bat, sponsored by the ATS Spot, a playoff edition. We have made it. Today starts the championship series in both the AL and NL. We have 4 games to go through. First pitch in the first game is in a little over 30 minutes. Fellas, how we feeling? Real playoff baseball starts today. No offense to the wildcard round.
Boys, Off the Bat is so back. The boys are back, and we're here to give you guys the locks. I am hyped, excited to dive into it. I don't got the Yankee flag behind me, but we all know it's Yankees playoff baseball game day. BBB, how are we?
Yeah, I'm pumped. We get some actual 5-game series. I'm not a big fan of the 3-game series and then divisional. And I mean, not to even mention the fact that we got these 5-game series for multiple of these. I don't agree with the way the MLB is handling these playoffs. I like that there's more teams in it, but go ahead, Hefe. I saw you about to say something there.
I think there is some confusion. I've done some research today, and I can't figure out if the next round, the ALCS, is a 5-game series or a 7-game series. I actually think it is a 7-game series.
If it's not a 7-game series, the MLB is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
They changed the playoff format. It's so hard. It's so hard to figure out. I know that these division series are 5-game series, and I'm not sure if the next round is 7. I believe it is 3-5, 7-7, and with the format being 2-3-2 in the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think you're
right. Which I don't like.
I understood the whole 1-game playoff thing. It was hey, you're the wild card team sneaking in and stuff. But the fact that you got division winners, like people that have won their division, playing in like such a short series, there's just not much reward to your regular season unless you are literally, you led the entire, National League or American League.
I couldn't agree more with you.
For sure.
I don't understand why they don't just make them all 7-game series. It's a 162-game season. You worked your ass off to be one of those teams to make the playoffs. You should at least get rewarded with multiple chances. I mean, the Mets are a perfect example of that, right? They lose 2 out of 3 at home. They're done. Season's over. They won 101 games.
Yep. The MLB constantly makes decisions that I think hurts their brand, whether it's the rules of the game or how they format things. So it's just insane.
All right, guys, let's get into the first game here. We got Phillies. We got the Braves coming live from Atlanta. Max Fried on the mound for the Braves. Suarez on the mound for the Phillies. Phillies took care of business against the Cardinals. Beat them straight up back-to-back games. Game 1 saw an incredible 9th-inning comeback. Game 2 saw them pitch a great game and get out of there, keeping the St. Louis Cardinals bats quiet. But the Braves are a different team. In my opinion, the Braves are the most dangerous team in these playoffs. And yes, I know that the Dodgers are in the same bracket as them. The mixture of veterans and young players that they have, I don't think we've ever seen. They are a minus 205 in some places. I know we have it listed as a minus 195 money line here. Game 1, what do you think, Alpha?
Guys, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm taking the dog early. I'm taking the run line on the Phillies at the plus 1.5. Taking a look at their lineup, they have guys that have done pretty good in their career off Fried. Guys like JT Realmuto, who's 12 for 36. He's batting .333. He has 3 bombs, 9 RBIs. Harper as well as 2 homers off him. So they've made contact before. Not sure who wins this outright, but I do think it's going to be another close playoff baseball game. Give me the dog plus 1.5 on the Phillies. BBB, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm leaning the other way. I like the Braves. They're one of my few favorites, I think, that win today. There's a lot of dogs. I think there's some good dog spots, but I like the over more in this matchup. Both teams have hit lefties exceptionally well throughout the year, And if I had to lean on a lefty that does better, I would say Max Fried does better. Simply, the Phillies on the road are a little bit different of a team. They are a way worse of a team. Their home road splits are pretty insane. I think the Braves should handle game one, but I do think they'll scrape some runs across just because of how successful they've been. So I'm taking the over 7.5 at even money. I can't pass that up.
I'm right there with you, BB. I have two plays actually for this game, but my number one official play is the over here. I think the Braves bat should have no problem getting to Suarez, and Alpha did a great job of mentioning how good the Phillies bats have been against Fried. I think runs are going to be scored. But my second play here is I think the Braves come out with the win. I'm putting the Braves as my first leg here in a money line parlay. I'll tell you guys the second team when we get to them. But I got two plays on this one. Straight, we're going to take the over of 7.5 at even money plus 100. And we're going to take the Braves money line and put them into a parlay. And I'll let you know when we get to the second team. But speaking of second games, let's move on to the second matchup. We have Mariners Astros. From Houston, Verlander on the mound for the Astros, Gilbert on the mound for the Mariners. I'm going to say this right away. I love how the Mariners looked against the Blue Jays. The comeback they had in the fashion that they won, the momentum that they're carrying. This has all the feels of one of those teams that's just red hot at the right time. BBB, we'll start with you on this one. What do you think here?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that they're just red hot, and this is going to be a close game. I think this total is pretty accurate, 6.5. I think we'll see about 6-7 runs here. That being said, I'm going to take the plus 1.5. I'm taking it a little light, but I'm taking the Mariners plus 1.5. You can get that at like minus 110, I believe, at most places. Some places you can even get it at plus 100. I've seen on some books. So shop around, make sure you're finding it. But I'm taking the Mariners plus 1.5. Like Hefe said, they're just kind of that hot team, that Cinderella story. I could see them at least keeping it close in this opening one.
Yeah, I see it the exact same way you do. I see a lot of close baseball games today. A lot of people, you're going to see a ton of parlays today with this kind of slate. You have 4 teams, 4 big favorites going today. It's hard to get a lot of exposure here, so you're going to see a lot of parlays and a lot of plus 1.5s. This, to me, is going to be a one-run final either way, so it's another plus 1.5 to me, minus 110. Hefe, what you got?
Not even going to waste anybody's time. I'm on the Mariners plus 1.5. I love the fact that they have momentum right now. The Astros haven't played baseball in a week. That might not seem like a long time, but for teams that have played 162 games in about 180 days, they're not used to having a week off, and that matters. I look for the Mariners to even possibly steal a game one, which would just be incredible for that franchise, considering this is the first playoff appearance since 2001. But officially, Mariners plus 1.5 is the play. All right, guys, let's move on to the first night game. We know why Alpha's clapping. It's Garrett Cole night at Yankee Stadium today. He will be pitching against the Guardians, who will have Cal Quantrill on the mound. Look, this is another one of those games where the Yankees are minus 200 favorites. I'm going to start this one off. The Yankees are my second team in the parlay. With the Braves, I'm going to take the Braves money line, Yankees money line. That's going to be a plus 125 parlay. That's my official play here. I am a little worried about Garrett Cole and how he starts games. The last couple starts, he's been giving up runs in the early parts of the games, forcing the Yankees bats to come alive and kind of get them back into games. And ultimately, they do win. But this is the playoffs. It's different. And the Guardians' pitching has looked so good against the Rays, which is a lineup that you can't really compare to the Yankee lineup. But yet you have to respect what the Guardians got done in Game 1 and Game 2. There was a point in that matchup. I read a stat. There was 36 straight scoreless innings in between the end of Game 1 and where Game 2's first run came, which, as we know, was in the 15th inning, I believe. So I'm interested to see how the Guardians come out. But my official play is Yankees money line. What do you think here, Alpha?
First of all, you didn't do a great job of introing that the New York Yankees are back for playoff baseball. Cal Quantrill on the bump for Cleveland. Cal Quantrill's been an absolute stud at home. He is on the road tonight. He's 6-5 on the road for the year. He has an elevated 3.5 ERA. Cal Quantrill is not a guy I like to fade often, but the only time I do is when he is on the road. This is going to be the first leg of my parlay. Let's go, Yanks. BBB, tell us why you're on the Guardians and how we're both idiots and how it's your max play.
Yeah, well, I think you kind of cherry-picked some Cal Quantrill stats there about his road stats, including the 5 losses that happened in the very, very beginning of the year. Cal Quantrill is 16-1 since July 11th. This guy has been my money maker. He is the bread. They continue to make him a dog, and he's understandably a dog in this matchup. There's no doubt about it. The Yankees should be favored. There's no I'm not going to sit there and argue about that. I do think there is value with him. I'm going to be rocking with the Guardians first 5 plus 0.5 at minus 105. You mentioned on it, Hefe. Garrett Cole can be a little shaky in there, and then I am gonna be on the money line as well. I'm gonna take a value shot there. I think this will be a close game. I think if you want to play it a little safer, take the plus 1.5. But here's the thing: that Garrett Cole has known to be shaky, and Kyle Quantrill has been an absolute money machine. I'm gonna roll with my money guy here. He's been making me money all year. I got to ride with him. I came into this game wanting to take.
Just say it with your chest. Do you think the Guardians are going to win this game? Say it with your chest.
I opened up my app and I saw, oh my gosh, Kyle Quantrill is pitching. Guess what? It's Guardians money line. Boom. It's easy as that.
Yeah, he's going to hit 4 homers for him, right? He's going to help that offense. Anyway, let's go, Yanks. We have 1 game left. We're going to cut BBB off.
All right, guys, let's go to the night game. Let's keep that moving. I will ask you guys a question at the end of this. Padres, Dodgers from LA. We got Clevenger on the mound for the Pods, who, if you're not impressed with the Padres, then you did not watch them beat the Mets. That was impressive, to say the least.
Senseless.
They took care of Max Scherzer. They did lose the game versus DeGrom, but that is what it is. But what Musgrove did in Game 3 was incredible, absolutely incredible. Now you got Clevenger on the mound, and now you got the Dodger lineup, which is not the Mets lineup. Urias on the mound for the Dodgers, and guys, he ended the year absolutely exceptional. His ERA, I believe, is below 1.6 to end the year. One of the best ERAs in baseball. This guy has been pitching his best right now, which is so key for the Dodgers. Alpha, we'll start with you. What do you think here?
Yeah, guys, last play I have left is the last leg of my parlay today is going to be the Dodgers. The Dodgers will get it done at home. Not a big fan of Clevenger. He is a good pitcher, but in this spot, I think there's too many lefty bats, and the Dodgers are going to be able to get to him pretty early. So give me the Dodgers as a second leg with the New York Yankees. You can get that at plus 110 on the parlay. BBB, what you got?
I'm rocking with the Padres, plus 1.5, minus 110. I like that I can get them at plus 1.5. The Padres bats have been going, and when your bats are hot, your bats are hot. That's a great thing to carry into the playoffs. The Dodgers have had some time off. They could start off this game slow, and if the Padres can get out to a little bit of a lead here early, I think they could definitely go into this. Again, I think getting that momentum in the playoffs is huge. That's when you see these teams. So we talked about the Mariners and other teams. Padres got some momentum, just came off a big series win against the New York Mets, who we've talked about was a great regular season team. I'm rocking with the Padres plus 1.5 light.
I can see why you do that. I like that we're all about to be on 3 different plays in one game. I'm actually taking the under 7.5 at minus 110 odds here. Here's the reason. The Dodgers have not played baseball in over a week. Baseball is a game of repetition. When you get thrown out of your cycle, you're going to have to work a little to get back in. I'm not saying the Dodgers are going to put up 0 runs. I'm just saying I don't see the normal production from their bats today as they kind of get back into the swing of things, point intended. On the other side, I think Urias is exactly who he is on paper. He is a guy who pitches to a low ERA. He might not be a big strikeout guy. He's a pitch-to-contact guy, but he gets a lot of ground balls, a lot of pop-ups. I think he can work his way through this touted Padres lineup. I'm not sure who wins this game. This is probably the biggest question mark I have in a matchup today. I could see the Padres winning this game 3-1. I could see the Dodgers winning this game 5-0. But ultimately, I don't think a lot of runs will be scored. I'm going to take the under 7.5 as my play here. One question before we let everybody go, get their bets, and enjoy the first game with first pitch in a little under 30 minutes. You got to pick one money line underdog. Each of you, go. Who's going to be your favorite money line underdog right now? BBB, tell us why it's the freaking Guardians.
Guardians money line. Book it, baby. Garrett Cole, he lets out the...
All right, we're done with you.
Boom. Dingers all day.
Nope.
What do you think, Alpha? Who's yours?
Seattle Mariners. Hefe, what's your pick?
San Diego Padres. I got this weird feeling that they can steal one. They probably have the most momentum out of any of the 4 teams that advance. Would we agree with that? In terms of just the team they beat, you know what I mean? How they feel about themselves. They probably feel, I guess you could make a case for the Mariners, but I think the Mariners are too young to understand what they accomplished. While the Padres are we got Manny Machado, we got Juan Soto, we got Josh Bell, we got Will Myers, we got pitchers, we're supposed to be here. I think they have a bravado about themselves that the Dodgers might not be ready for. I
guess we shall see. And there's a couple people in chat who agree. Shane Dien says the Guardians, I'm sorry you're going to lose that bet. Rally is saying fire, and Jay the D is saying Atlanta money line and the over. We appreciate the chat locks.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with more content, more off the bat throughout the MLB playoffs, so stay tuned for that. And most importantly, let's cash some bets today, baby. Enjoy the playoff baseball.
Hey, little bonus hockey.
Let's go Yanks.
Kings money line. Kings money line, baby.